Hey there guys, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be solving a really nice equation where we have x times x plus 1 times x minus 1 times x plus 2 equals 24. And we're going to go ahead and solve this for x in two ways. So make sure to watch this till the end. Now before we start with the first method, notice that 24 is equal to 4 factorial, which means that it is equal to 1 times 2 times 3 times 4, right? That means that we have the product of four consecutive numbers. Now, if you look at the left-hand side, you can see the same thing. We have the product of four consecutive numbers. X minus 1, x plus 1, and x plus 2 are four consecutive numbers. And therefore, if I compare both sides, I can say that x minus 1 is equal to 1. Therefore, x equals 2. So x equals 2 is a solution, but it is not the only solution. Now we can go ahead and move everything on the same side, expand everything, and then divide everything by x minus 2, and then solve for other solutions. But that's not what I'm going to do, because it's a little bit complicated comparing to the things that we're going to do next. So let me leave this to you, and now let's go ahead and start with the first method. So in the first method, I'm going to go ahead and multiply these two and these two. So if I do that, we're going to get x squared plus x times x squared plus x minus 2 equals 24. Now, if you look at this, you can see that x squared plus x is repeating. Therefore, we can use the substitution method and replace this with something like y. So in this case, we're going to have y times y minus 2 equals 24. From this, we're going to get a quadratic equation, y squared minus 2y minus 24 equals 0. And then we can solve this using factoring. So we can factor the left-hand side into y minus 6 times y plus 4. And then from this, we can say that y equals 6 or it equals negative 4. Great. Now remember that y is equal to x squared plus x, which means that we have x squared plus x equals 6 or x squared plus x equals negative 4. From this, we can say that x squared plus x minus 6 equals 0 or x squared plus x plus 4 equals 0. Now, to solve the first one, we can use factoring again, and we can write it as x plus 3 times x minus 2. And therefore, we can say that x equals negative 3 or x equals 2. But to solve the second one, we need to use the quadratic formula because we're going to get some complex solutions. So if you do that, we're going to have x equals negative 1 plus or minus the square root of 1 minus 16, which is going to be negative 15, all divided by 2. And this equals negative 1 plus or minus root 15 times I divided by 2. Great. So we solved for four solutions. And this brings us to the end of the first method. Let's go ahead and take a look at the second one. But before we do that, let me rewrite the equation. We have x times x plus 1 times x minus 1 times x plus 2 equals 24. And we're going to use the second method to solve for x. So in the second method, I'm going to go ahead and multiply these two and these two again. So we're going to have x squared plus x times x squared plus x minus 2 equals 24. Now notice that I can write the first one as x squared plus x minus 1 and then plus 1. And then I can write the second factor as x squared plus x minus 1 minus 1. Now, if you look at this, you can see that we have two conjugates multiplying to each other. Because if you take this and this as A and take 1 as B, you can see that we have A plus B times A minus B, right? So we have two conjugates multiplying to each other, which means that we can use the difference of two squares and write the left-hand side as x squared plus x minus 1 squared minus 1 squared, which is 1, equals 24. Next, let's go ahead and add 1 to both sides to get x squared plus x minus 1 squared equals 25. Next, let's go ahead and take the square root of both sides. If we do that, we're going to have x squared plus x minus 1 equals positive or negative 5. Great. Now, from this, we're going to get two quadratic equations in terms of x. The first one is going to be x squared plus x minus 1 equals 5. And the second one is going to be x squared plus x minus 1 equals negative 5. Then I can write these two as x squared plus x minus 6 equals 0, and x squared plus x plus 4 equals 0. Now notice that these two equations are the same equations that we found in the first method, right? And if you remember, from the first one, we're going to get x equals 2 or x equals negative 3. And from the second one, we get x equals negative 1 plus or minus root 15 times I, all divided by 2. Great, so we found 4 solutions using the second method, and this brings us to the end of this video. Thank you for watching this video. Please consider subscribing for more contents like this, and hit the like button if you enjoyed watching this. Hopefully I will see you later. Goodbye for now.